All right, fourth graders, we are on our way. It's our last week and it's Camp Ride-A-Lot, and I just hope that you have a blast. As I was thinking about the STAR test, I started thinking about what can make our life easier. What can we do to make sure that we're ready, but instead of having to repeat, what can we do? So each day when you get your trail map, make sure you write your name up here where we can see it. And then, as you know, you're going to go through each plot. Each time you pass something, and there's going to be a video for each thing, you'll have your camp counselor sign it. What this video is about is it's going to talk about making a cheat sheet. Now, I know that we're in the habit of every time you see a new story, you write your proofreading marks. Well, I just want us to be able to do it once and be ready to go. So, on the day of the STAR test, next week, when your teacher says you may begin, I want you to find a blank sheet of paper, either in your test booklet or you can get just a loose leaf piece of paper, and we're going to make a cheat sheet. This is often like how your math teacher would have you do like a math cheat sheet. All you have to do is get a blank sheet of paper. This is everything that you could possibly need for the writing test. So instead of having to write it every time, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write your proofreading marks. Caret up, caret down, caret with a comma, period with a circle, SP, bloop bloop, slash, 3 lines, arrows, wrong tense, and wrong word. These are going to help you on the revising and editing. Do I need to add something? Do I need to add a comma? Does a sentence end in a period? Are there any misspelled words? Do I need to bloop anything out? Are there any uppercases that need to be lowercases? Are there any lowercases that need to be uppercase? Do I need to switch any information in my sentence around? And is this word the wrong tense? So as everything is written in present tense, you got to make sure all your words are the right tense, not the wrong tense, or a wrong word. Maybe a word just doesn't make sense. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write our proofreading marks on our cheat sheet. The second thing that we're going to write on our cheat sheet that's going to help you is your fanboys. This will help you in your writing, and it will help you in your revising and editing. The fanboys words, F-A-N-B-O-Y-S, fanboys words. These are conjunctions, are words that if you see one in your sentence, it's going to be very helpful, especially with comma rules. The fanboys words are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And what the rule says is, I'm thinking about a woobus. What the rule says is, you cover up the fanboys word if the sentence is complete on the left and complete on the right. It needs both a comma and a fanboys word to make it right. This is going to come up lots on the STAR test. So what we always do is when you see a sentence, if you see a fanboys word, circle it. Then when you get ready, you cover up the fanboys word. You read the sentence on the left. If it's complete, you read the sentence on the right. It's complete. It needs both a comma and a fanboys word to make it right. So the first cheat sheet that we're making is our proofreading marks. The second one is fanboys. I bet you've already know what number 3 is. Number 3 is our woobus words. After, although, as, while, when, until, because, before, if, since. That song you're going to be able to find in your camping songs. Once you're through, I will let you scan it and you'll have access to that so you could listen to it. But the woobus song says, after, although, as, while, when, until, because, before, if, since. So it says after, although, as, while, when, until, because, before, if, since. And what the rule is with that is, if the sentence starts off with one, you must put a comma after the clause. If an awubis word is in the middle, no comma needed. Easy, easy, easy to remember these rules. So with the fanboy word, when you see it in the middle, you check on the left, you check on the right. If it's complete on the left, complete on the right, it needs both the comma and fanboys to make it right. With an awubis word, if the sentence starts off with one, you must put a comma after the clause. If it's in the middle, there's no comma is needed. The last thing the fourth thing I want you to do is you're going to write out the steps to the writing process. This is our silly sentence that says, bubbles pop during slumber parties. You can even put a little checkbox here, so as you're working through your writing process, you can check it off as you go. The first step is to brainstorm and come up with ideas. The next one is to pre-write. Draft, this is when you actually write your story. Superstar, revise and edit. And the last one is parties, which is published, to rewrite it in your nicest, neatest handwriting. Brainstorm, pre-write, draft, superstar, revise, and publish. Bubbles pop during slumber parties. We have two more items that we're going to put on our list. The fifth one we've talked a lot about, but I'm going to change it up just a little bit on this video because I think it'll be easier. So when you are making your cheat sheet, I want you to draw a star. We've talked a lot about this star, but I'm going to change it a little bit to how it's going to be easiest for you to work through it. So what we're going to do is, in the middle of the star, you write wow. There's two kinds of wow statements that you need in your paper. You need a wow, like an attention getter, where you tell your bada bing, what were your feet doing, what were your eyes seeing, and what were you thinking. And then you need an introduction. And in your introduction, this is like an idea. And so the other W is, what one W are they asking me to write about? And that's going to become your central idea statement. What one W are they asking you to write about? So there's two W's. There's your bada bing statement in your introduction, and then also in your introduction is your wow statement. What one W are they asking me to write about? I'm going to turn it into a central idea statement. Then I'm going to head to this box. What Bill McDonald says is there's only a few letters that you need in order to do very well on the STAR test. This up here is a W, and all you need to remember on this is why. Why am I going to write about this? So if they ask you to write about your favorite person and you write about your Aunt Loy, why? Why did you choose your Aunt Loy? You would write a why statement. Then after you get through with why, you're going to come over here. So it's wow, then it's W, then the rest are E's. This E right here, you can do it out here. This E right here stands for give me examples that explain why I chose to write about what I chose to write about. So give me examples that explain. Down here is also an E. This is where you're going to explode your ideas. And right here you can draw cobwebs. This is where we use our cobwebs, fed pretty queens, to decide to add more information to our paper. When you get finished here, you can go to this E. Before you finish your story, you need an ending. The ending is going to have a sound, an ing word, or a question. We'll talk more about that in a little while. And then the last thing that you need in your paper is the ER. This is the editing and revising ER. So just like you do on your passages where you're reading a story, this would be, you read your story, you look for spelling, capitalization, punctuation mistakes. For editing and for revising, you ask yourself, is there any information I need to add? Is there any information I need to take away? Is there any information I need to switch? So we have those 5 things. The last thing is the 6. Now what you need to remember about expository writing is that we use Elmer the expository earthworm. And where Elmer is helpful is it reminds you that no matter what you're writing about, you need a brilliant beginning for his head, and you need an excellent rear ending for his body, to end your story, and everything in between needs to support your central idea statement. So we're still going to use Elmer the expository earthworm. And in this body, when you are explaining and exploding, you need to remember what your cobwebs are. It's cobwebs, fed pretty queens. The C is for a compound sentence. These are 2 words glued together with a fanboys word, a compound sentence. The O is a one-time I. Now you don't by any means have to use all of these, but this will give you ideas on what you could write about. The B is because, or a why statement. The W is words in a series. We worked a lot on this. This is a list or words in a series. The E is to give examples that explain what your central idea statement is. The B stands for be sure or be careful. This is a word of warning. Be sure, be careful. The S is similes and sounds. And again, there's going to be other reference materials that you can use, but this is just a way to list out your cobwebs fed pretty queens. The F is a fact. A fact there's 3 parts of a fact. It starts out with a exciting beginning, like can you believe, or I was shocked to learn, and then it has numbers. 9 out of 14 4th graders reported, or 120 kids at Emerson Elementary said. It uses numbers. And remember, a fact doesn't have to be true, it just has to be believable. Emotions. This is just, how does something make you feel? How does a person, place, or thing make you feel? It's always good to write an emotion sentence. A description. If you're describing a place, describing a person, describing something you like. The P stands for prepositions. These are position words. Before, after, on top of, beneath, beside. All of those are prepositions that you could add. And the last one is a quote. Words that somebody actually said. So quotation marks. So on our cheat sheet, we have proofreading marks, fanboys and the rule that goes with it, awubuses and the rule that goes with it, our writing process, bubbles pop during slumber parties, brainstorm, pre-write, draft, superstar, revise, and publish, drawing our superstar of exactly what you need in your paper, and all of your cobwebs. Now you won't need to write any of these on all your stories because you'll have your cheat sheet right here next to you and you can use it.